Hi, my name's Joe Achaturo. I'm a certified public accountant, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about doing your own taxes. So let's get started. Click on the link above or below this video to follow along with us and start your own tax return. All right, so I'm going to teach you how to do your own taxes from beginning to end. Let's start. First, pick your email. Pick a username. I think the easiest thing to do is pick the same name of the email you use. And let's go with, oops. It's going to be a cap. Okay. So what do we need here? Follow all the rules. Next, you're going to get an email. Boom, there it is. There's the email. Verify it. And you're going to ask to copy the code. All right, come up with some questions. Best friend in high school. Bob. These are all fake. Middle name of your oldest child. Kim. Favorite childhood friend. Bob. Let's get going. Let's begin. Let's read off the questions, right? Ask me a few questions. Let's get ready. How will you file? Married, single, had a household. Generally, had a household. You have a child living in your house. Single, you live all by yourself for the last 6 months of the year or longer. Married, filing joint. You're married. Qualified widower, your spouse died within the last 2 years. But you have a child. So, you choose. We're going to do the easiest one possible. Actually, we're going to do not the easiest. We're going to do head of household with some tax credits. Show you how easy that's going to be. Can you be claimed as a dependent? How do I know? If you need to answer that question, you click on how do I know? You can read it. I know I'm not. Were you married at any point? No. What's your name? What is my name going to be for this? Do your own taxes. Make a fake social security number. When were you born? You can type it in as well. 03 15 1980. Occupation. Sales. Phone number 401 555 5785. What's your address? Pick an address. Taxes Boulevard. 02920 Cranston, Rhode Island. It's going to pull it up for me. Okay. What state did you live in? tap the letter of the first letter of the state you live in. That'll shorten where you need to go, and then click it. Return elections. Are you a full-time student? No. Would you like to donate $3 to the President Election Fund? No way. Were you blind? No. Which is important. They automatically transfer all the information. And we're going to do a state return as well. Your state return has been added. Click here if you change your mind. Save. Answer a few simple life questions. Let's get started. Do you have a W-2? Yes. Now I'm going to ask you to fill it out. Do yours. That's my name, right? So that's going to be me. Who's the W-2 for? Me. Employer EIN. Now it's going to be nice and easy. That's going to be right on the form. The employer tax ID number. I'm completely making it up. Okay. Actually, let's make it my free CPA. He's going to pay me. So let's see. What's their address? P.O. Box 1234 02920. Next. Employees information. Is the address the same on your current mailing address? The address on the W-2. Are they the same? Yes. Let's see. Wages. Let's go with $19,000. Federal income tax withheld. $1,000. Social Security wages $19,000. Social Security tax withheld. B1178. On the 19,000. We're going to do Medicare taxes withheld. It's going to be 51 divided by 2 is 276. And that's it. Next. I have no special benefits. If they were, you would have just filled them out. They'd be listed on your W-2. State, Rhode Island. State ID number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits long. State tips and wages, we're going to be $19,000, the same as federal. How much are we withholding? $500. Save. Nice. Do you have another W-2? No. I only work for one guy. Let's see. Let's see. Guide me through all the sections. How about that? Nice and easy. Now I can skip if I already know I have certain forms or if I don't. Right? I can go right to dependents. Deductions, healthcare. I can do all that stuff. But let's guide me through. Because let's pretend I don't know anything. Let's just go right through it. Did you have interest? No. Do you have dividends? Nope. Investments? Nope. Could have done all that. But this is going to be the most simple tax return we can put. No capital gains or losses carried forward. No investments, and I did not sell my house. Do you own a small business? No. Freelancer? Was I a freelancer? No. Retirement. Do you have an IRA, 401k? No. Clearly, I didn't make a lot of money. It was only $19,000. Other income. Did you receive a W-2 for gambling winnings? A W-2G? No. 1099 miscellaneous for any other income? No, I didn't. If you do, you click yes, and then it'll ask you more questions. Any other income? 1099G. Usually you get that if there's like unemployment or something like that, all right? Or state tax refund. The deal is, State tax refunds. If you itemized last year, it's income this year. If you did not itemize last year and you took a standard deduction, you do not need to input Form 1099-G because it's not taxable this year. No. Did you receive Form 1099-C? That's for debt that was canceled. No, I did not. Did you receive alimony? No. Unemployment compensation that wasn't on Form 1099-G? No, I did not. Foreign employer? No. K1? No. That's a partnership income or S-Corp income. Any other income? Rental income, property income? No. This is just simple tax return. All right. Income. I am finished with income. Let's go on to the dependents. Do you have dependents you'd like to claim? Yes, I would. Let's give them a name. David. And what's his last name going to be? It's going to be what my last name is. His last name is going to be own taxes. Make up a social security number. Is he related to you? Yeah. Let's call it my son. When were they born? Last year. 3 years ago. Let's do that. 2000. We'll go February 1st. Does the dependent live with you all year? Yes. Child and dependent care expenses. Did you pay someone? If you did, you're gonna want to get a form from that person or from that facility if you did pay out of pocket. All right. Because there are tax credits available. So I'm going to say yes. How much did you pay for child care expenses? $5,000. Let's throw that number out there. Did your employer pay a portion of that? And is it listed in box 10? No, my employer did not pay. The Earned Income Credit is a key tax credit, beneficial to many taxpayers. Next, we'll ask a few questions to determine whether you qualify. Could another person claim this child? No. Is the dependent unmarried? Yes. Either of these statements true, so that automatically makes yes. This is your dependent, and they are a citizen, national or residential of the United States. Yes, they are a dependent of mine, and they are a citizen, a national or a resident of the U.S. Did the dependent live with you in the U.S. for more than a half a year? Yes. That covers all the usual bases. Let's save it. Finish with dependents. Oh, dependent care expenses, though. We do need to do the care provider. Like I said, if there's a care provider, you need to fill that information out. There's usually going to be, if it's an individual, you put their social security number of the person that you paid. If not, federal tax ID number. If you don't, you can't get either one of those, no identification given. But we'll go with it. We'll pretend it's a real place. And when you've put in enough numbers, they tell you the provider's name, child care company. Put in their address, 123 Child Care Road, 02920. Everything's in Cranston. What's the phone number? 401-555-5786. Let's do it 89. How much was paid to the provider? So this is going to be, this number should essentially match. If you have more than one provider, the total, when you put these numbers in, they should add up to the first number you put on the child's daycare, right? One of the first questions was, did your child have any childcare expenses. All those numbers should pretty much add up. All of these numbers should add up to that. But since we're only going to do one, I'm going to put the exact same amount so the numbers tie together. Do you need a second care provider? No, I only had one. That covers the typical. Let's save it. I'm finished with dependents. I only had one child. Home and property. First off, we didn't make a lot of money, so we're going to skip all of this. We're going to go straight to the standard deduction, right? If you didn't have if you're single and you didn't have more than 12,000 of deductions, $12,000 worth of mortgage interest payment or car taxes plus real estate taxes, right, then you're really not going to be using this. State income taxes, you're not going to be really using this. You're not going to be doing all the deductions and credits. But again, if any of these apply to you, you're going to fill them out. We do want to learn about the earned income credit though, right? Because the earned income credit is you earn some money and you want money back. Let's go through the earned income credit checklist. Very important not to miss that. Were you or your spouse, if filing jointly, a resident? A non-resident alien. That means you're a resident. Yes. Could you be a qualifying child for another person? No, I could not be a qualifying child for another person. Was your home, again, let's see, was your home your main home in the United States for more than half the year? Yes. Could you or your spouse be claimed as a dependent? No. Earned income credit eligibility. Are you eligible for the earned income credit? Yes. Was your earned income credit denied or reduced in any year after 96? No. These are the answers you want if you want to get that earned income credit. Okay, I made a mistake. Were you or your spouse a non-resident alien? No. Could you or your spouse be qualified? Okay. Could you or your spouse, if filing jointly, be a qualifying child of another person? No. Was your main home? Yes. All right. The rest are correct. I made a mistake on that first question. See how I knew I made a mistake because I know the rules. And I knew that federal refund was supposed to be higher. Okay, so the last thing we're going to go over is going to be the healthcare section of this tax return, and we're going to guide me through the healthcare. It's important that you do the healthcare this year. This is the last year you're going to be getting a penalty for not having healthcare coverage. This year you will get a penalty if you don't have it. So, did everyone in your household have health insurance all year? I'm going to make this easy. Yes. Was some of the coverage or all through the health insurance marketplace called an exchange? I'm going to say yes, I just want you to see what happens. If you have a 1095A that was sent to you as a tax form, then you're going to do it this way, right? You're going to fill this out. If you have a 1095A, depending on your circumstances, and depending on the numbers on that 1095A, your tax refund could go up or down. But for the sake of keeping this all simple, I'm gonna say we just paid for our own health insurance. But let's see. If you had a health insurance marketplace, you should have received Form 1095A. That statement follows a very standard format, so let's get the information into your return. And basically, you fill it out where it says market identifier on the form, fill it out. Assigned policy number, fill in those numbers, right? Here's a special rule. If there are more than 15 characters, enter the last 15. So start all the way on the right, count back 15, and enter those numbers. Polish the issuer's name. So if it's Blue Cross, Cigna, Health Source, or whatever it's called, use that. Policy, start date and end date. Make sure you fill those in, right? But let's go back to make it easy. Were you covered by the exchange? No. And that's it. That's the healthcare done. So now I know. Let's take a review of the tax return. It's ready to file. I'd like to see. Now, again, if you can see all the federal forms that are going to be on your tax return so far, right? These are going to be my forms. These are going to be all the other forms that you're really not going to need. I'm finished with the federal tax return. I'd like to see, let's look at the state. Ready to file. Make sure on the W-2 that information is all put somewhere. There should be a box for everything on that W-2. I'd like to always preview a return. Before you finish, create a preview of my return. Let's take a look. Now let's view it. Save it to my desktop. Tax return 2018. And open it up. Let's take a look. We made $19,000, correct? Correct. Total deductions, $18,000. Taxable income, $1,000. Tax before credits, $1,000. Tax after credits, $0. Earned income credit, $3,403. Let's go down here. Let's do a quick review. Is the name correct? Social security number correct? A date? Is he my son? Did I get a tax credit for him? Is this right? Wages and salaries, that's the right number, 19,000. This number should match the number on your W-2 or a combination of all box 1 from your W-2s combined. Then again, interest, if there's interest, it should be on the interest line. Dividends should be on the dividend line if you fill out all those forms properly. Standard deduction is $18,000. You'll see it here, right? If you're single, you would have gotten 12. Married filing joint, 24. Head of household, 18. Again, don't even bother filling out all the deductions if you don't have over these limits, because it's just not worth it. If you don't have over 12,000 and you're single, if you don't have over 24,000 and you're married, if you don't have over 18,000 and you're head of household, in deductible expenses like mortgage, taxes, interest on your mortgage, real estate taxes, state income taxes. If all those things don't add up to above those numbers, then don't bother filling them in. So let's go down and look. We have our refundable credits. Look at that. Everything's beautiful. The child tax credit gets limited to our taxable income, our tax, right? So our tax is $101. So normally what would happen is if our tax was $4,000, we would get the full $2,000 deduction. I mean, $2,000 tax credit. But because we only have $101 in tax, then what we're only going to get is enough child tax credit to bring this number to 0. But that's okay, because what we are going to get is our an earned income tax credit, which is clearly worth way more at $3,403 plus the $1,400, right, than the $2,000 child tax credit. So we paid next to nothing in the system, and we got back $5,803. Now you can see if we keep going down, we get the non-refundable credits. That means we don't get money back after we reach zero. That's the $101. All right. Child tax care credit is the $101 before we get our child tax credit. Now we get our earned income credit. We filled out all the information. All that's filled out correctly. Check it all, right? Additional tax credit. We get our additional child tax credit of $1,400. We shows our computation of the regular tax of $101. See, the child tax credit is going to be $2,000, but it gets reduced down to zero since there's nothing to there's no income tax to offset that against. And the earned income tax credit is actually a refundable tax credit. So that means even if you have no tax liability after your child tax credits, you still get money back. This is why we're getting a huge boatload of money. Let's go all the way to the top, right? We're still getting back a boatload of money even though we haven't paid in, right? That's why it's important to file your taxes. Now I'm going to close out on that. And let's file the tax. Let's file the tax return. Actually, you know what? I don't remember if I did the Rhode Island one. Ah, Rhode Island. There it is. Let's take a look at Rhode Island taxes. So you're going to see all the numbers flow over. There's generally in Rhode Island not anything you're going to be offsetting when your income is that low. Maybe you get a property tax relief credit. But look at that. Rhode Island gives you a Rhode Island earned income credit as well. So again, for filing your tax return from the state of Rhode Island, when you work, you get money back above and beyond what you've paid in. So you get even, that's why at certain times you might say, oh, I don't really want to file my state tax because it's going to cost an extra $19. But in this particular, or $9, whatever the fee is. But in this instance, you're going to make an extra, you're going to get back your $500 that you paid in for your, on your W-2. Plus you're going to get a Rhode Island earned income credit. That's worth another $500. So is it worth paying $19 to get $510 back? Extra. Of course it is. Of course it is. Now, this is just a quick review. File now. Everything looks good. Let's file. And now, final steps. You're almost ready. Yeah, let's e-file because that's the fastest way to get our money back. Let's e-file both. They're both set for yes. Okay. If you don't want to, you can print the return. I don't recommend it. You could put your mind at ease that you did everything right by purchasing audit protection and ID theft restoration. If you want to, you can add that for $29.95. Let's add that protection plus. Let's read what it says. Type in your name. Do your own taxes. I'm going to accept the rules. Now, because we have a child, it's not a free tax return. Okay? It is going to cost $78. Why? Well, $24.95 for the federal return. Because there's a child, it does cost money. It doesn't qualify for the federal free program. The federal free program is only if you have no children. Next, you're going to pay for the state return. And we want to pay for the audit protection, right? So the subtotal is going to be $74.85 plus sales tax. Now, what do we want to do? What do we? How do we want to pay it? If we have the money, we're just gonna put the debit and credit card. If we don't, we're gonna do an e-collect. What's that mean? It means we can pay our fees from our refund and have the rest deposited into a bank account. So let's try that. I know there's an extra fee for that, and I wanted to show you that up front. Again, read the rules. Agree. Here's what you need. You need to put in your driver's license. Why? They're trying to cut down on fraud. The federal government wants to cut down on fraud. The ID number on the license. The location, Rhode Island. Issue date, expiration date. Answer a security question. Name of your first pet. Throw it in there. Sam. Again, this is fake, so don't try to use this information. It won't work. Put in the name of the financial institution, right? Bank of America. Routing number, whatever that is, 101234556. Okay. Confirm it. I'm just trying to do this for speed. I would normally retype that to make sure it's exactly the same and exactly as written on the bottom of your check. Account number, put it in. Is it a checking or savings? Good. And that's it. So the fee, here's the fees in total. $78 tax prep fee. The e-collect fee is a $15 fee for them taking it out of your tax return. And then there's a transmitter fee of $9.95. Right, so these fees are extra because I chose to have that money taken out of my refund. If you choose to have the fees for the processing of your tax return done by taking the fee out of your income tax return refund, you must either direct deposit or you can choose to have the money put on a prepaid Visa card and sent to you. If you're going to pay on your own, then you're going to have different options, right? If you're going to pay on your own, you're going to have, and you're not going to have those fees taken out. You're going to have the ability credit debit card. You're going to have the ability to have the refund sent to you by check. Now, if I don't choose to have it taken out of my refund, let's go back and see. I do not agree. Continue filing. Credit debit card. Put the number in now and it's a flat $78 fee. Okay? Simple as that. After you pay, you hit submit. Taxes are done. Obviously, I'm not going to pay because this is just a tutorial. And that's it. Nice and easy. Under an hour, you're done with your own taxes. And I did a fairly complex one because it included a child, earned income tax credits, right? If you had just the W-2 and you just graduated college, I mean, you'd click off maybe the college interest to be able to put that in. But other than that, you shouldn't have any trouble doing your taxes. For 99% of the population or 90% of the population, you should be able to do your own taxes in less than an hour. And it was that easy. Okay, now this is going to be a quick comparison between TurboTax and 1040.com. Right? This is the exact same tax return, exact same refund, exact same information. This tax return is going to cost. I had to use TurboTax Deluxe. I had to pay for a Rhode Island return. I paid for the audit defense and everything else, and that was $50. So the $79 tax return on 1040.com turned into a $130 tax return.